Question number 2, Claudette Hauiti.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister of Finance, what steps has the government taken to turn around the Treasury's forecast net government debt?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, the initial forecasts of government debt prior to the 2009 budget showed that net government debt would soar to over 60% of GDP by 2023 and never come down. Under this government's management, net debt is now expected to peak at 26.4% of GDP and fall below 20% by 2020. That's despite an extra $15 billion contribution to the rebuild of Christchurch. We've been able to turn around those earlier debt forecasts by spending taxpayers' money more effectively, for instance in education, where the extra money has gone on achieving better results, not just on maintaining spending.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, Claudette Hauiti.
Approximately how much less net debt does the government expect to have on its books in the early 2020s compared to the Treasury's projections 6 years ago?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the difference will be significant, including using money freed up from the share offer program to invest in public assets. The Budget 2014 projections show that by 2023, net government debt will be around 13% under the government's current policies. That's well below the forecast from 2009, where net debt exceeded 60% of GDP. That means in dollar terms, that will amount to around $150 billion less debt for taxpayers by 2023 under this government's responsible policies compared to the policies we inherited.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Claudette Hauiti.
Having successfully completed its share offers as part of its wider program to get debt under control,
Order.
Point of order.
Point of order from the Honourable
Mr Speaker, standing orders require that questions are questions, not unfounded assertions.
Order. A correct interpretation of standing orders is that question should be a question, so I invite the member to ask the question without the lead-in comments. Claudette Hauiti, supplementary question.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Having completed its share offers as part of its wider program to get debt under control, has the government observed any changes to dividends received from the share offer companies?
Honourable
Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker. Yes, the share offer program has increased the requirement for the floated companies to perform better, and it's flowing into higher dividends than if the companies had remained in 100% Crown ownership. This is particularly noticeable with Genesis Energy. Despite selling just under half of the shares in the company, the Crown expects to receive nearly twice as much in dividends from Genesis this year than it did in the best year between 2001 and 2012, when the Crown had 100% ownership. The Crown is also forecast to receive more in dividends from Genesis this year as a 51% owner than it received in 2012, when we were 100% owners. So with half the ownership, it looks like we're going to get about twice the dividends. This is just one of the benefits of a very successful share selling program.
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Parker.
Mr Speaker, could I have the same figures in respect of that other state-owned enterprise, Solid Energy?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, Solid Energy isn't being sold because it's not viable to do so.
Supplementary question, Claudette Hauiti.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, what other benefits have the share offer program brought to the government's finances, particularly in helping to keep debt lower than it would have otherwise been?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, the $4.7 billion raised through the share offer program is meeting all capital spending over 3 or 4 budgets, or all discretionary capital spending. That has allowed the government to have no new capital allowance in those years, because that capital allowance would have to have been met through additional borrowing. I'm pleased to see support in other fiscal packages for accepting the government's previous measures to curb spending and control debt by using proceeds from the share offer program to invest in new public assets. I was, I have to say, surprised to see that the Labor and the Greens who've opposed the asset sales for a number of years have budgets which rely on spending the proceeds of those sales.
Question number 3, Materia Ture.
Tēnā koe, Mr Speaker. Tēnā koe te whare. My question is to the Prime Minister and asks, does he stand by all his statements?
Right, Honourable Prime Minister.
Yes.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Materia Ture.